This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news, edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. The Finance State Minister assures budget proposals are not targeting elections. The Consul General of Sri Lanka says the Sri Lanka-Pakistan trade volume remains insignificant due to certain barriers. The chairman of the Central Environment Authority has been suspended. The National Dengue Control Unit launches a 5-day special dengue control program. A school holiday for all Tamil schools tomorrow. Kiev has been hit by the first Russian air attack in 52 days. The State Minister of Finance, Ranjit Siambalapitiya, says that the budget to be presented tomorrow will help Sri Lanka rise and prosper in the long term by finding solutions. Speaking at the Finance Ministry premises today, the State Minister said that the budget has not been prepared for the sake of short-term popularity or targeting the elections. The State Minister asserted that a permanent program will be presented to prevent the collapse of the economy once again. The 2024 budget, which will be presented to Parliament tomorrow, is already being prepared and will be printed tonight, the State Minister said. He said that this year's budget has been prepared by facing the challenge of finding solutions for the entire population who are under pressure, the challenge of making the country ride up again in the long term, as well as a challenge of finding expenses for that purpose. The Consul General of Sri Lanka, Jagat Abeyewardene, says Sri Lanka-Pakistan trade volume remains insignificant at $440 million due to certain barriers. He says it is preventing trade between both sides. He mentioned that despite 75 years of good diplomatic relations and a free trade agreement since 2005, the situation remains the same. The Consul General insists, in order to enhance the trade, the FTA has to be revisited and a mechanism must be devised to facilitate transactions between both exporters and importers. During a meeting at the Karachi Chamber of Commerce and Industry, he said, as we both are going through a difficult economic situation and we have to help each other, he said Pakistan was the #1 buyer of Sri Lankan products. He highlighted that collaboration between the private sectors through participation in trade fairs and regular exchanges of trade delegations is essential to achieving the common goal of improved trade ties. He added, several sectors can promote trade between the two countries, including pharmaceuticals, fabrics, leather, as they are being imported by Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka can also provide construction materials, ceramics, false ceilings, cosmetics, rubber-based products and agricultural products to Pakistan. The chairman of the Central Environment Authority, Supun Shashendra Patirage, who was arrested by the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption, has been suspended from service. The Secretary to the Ministry of Environment, Dr. Anil Jasinger, said that this suspension applies with immediate effect. Officers of the Bribery Commission arrested 3 persons, including the chairman of the Central Environment Authority, for soliciting a bribe of 10 million rupees. They had reportedly accepted the bribe within the premises of the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources for a project being carried out by the CEA. However, the suspects were ordered to be remanded in custody until tomorrow after being produced before the Colombo Magistrates Court yesterday. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The next generation digital banking partner, People's Bank.
The director of the National Dengue Control Unit, Dr. Nalin Aryaratne, said that a 5-day special dengue control program organized and initiated today was held in the districts of Colombo, Gampaha and Kalathara. He said that the current rainfall could lead to a future increase in dengue cases and the unit took measures to launch the program due to the increase in daily dengue cases. Dr. Aryaratne stated that he strongly advises residents to remove potential mosquito breeding sites in their surroundings. The Dengue Control Unit said the total number of dengue cases reported across the island has surpassed 70,000, with 2,300 cases reported this month alone as of today. The Education Ministry announces a school holiday for all Tamil schools tomorrow as the Deepavali festival falls today. Deepavali is celebrated today and teachers and students will not be attending schools on the following days, so the ministry has decided to grant this holiday. However, the Education Ministry has also announced that the schools must be held on the 18th of November, a Saturday, to cover the syllabus.
Enjoy seamless shopping. Open LCs, settle bills and transfer funds instantly, anywhere and anytime. With People's Bank Digital Solutions, you're empowered to do more, whenever and wherever you want. Unlock a world of modern banking conveniences with People's Bank, your next generation digital banking partner. People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe will present proposals to implement the Digicon economic concept, the President's Media Division reports. The Information and Communication Technology Agency of Sri Lanka has announced that the initiative aims to achieve a revenue of $15 billion through digital economies by 2030. The Information and Communication Technology Agency of Sri Lanka, ICTA, said the Prime Minister has instructed the Ministry of Technology to spearhead the establishment of the digital economy through extensive public and private partnerships, marking a significant first for Sri Lanka. ICTA also highlighted that the Minister of State for Technology, Kanaka Herath, has successfully engaged in discussions with various stakeholders and the resulting plan has been submitted to President Ranil Wickremesinghe.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatma.
Professor Prasad Katulanda of the National Hospital of Sri Lanka warns that Sri Lanka falls among the top 10 countries having the highest rates of diabetes in the world. He urges that immediate action is needed to counter the alarming trend of a majority of adults in urban areas either having diabetes or being in the pre-diabetes stage. Professor Katulanda says that the answer to the danger of diabetes is major lifestyle changes not only among adults but both the old and young and also children. That came to you in Watchlight in World News Headlines now. Kiev has been hit by the first Russian attack in 52 days. Microsoft says Teams and Xbox fixed in UK and Europe. A diabetes medicine, the King Kong of weight loss jabs, has been approved in the UK for treating obesity. Ukraine's capital Kiev has been hit by the first Russian air attack in 52 days. Kiev's mayor, Vitaly Klitschko, said strong explosions were heard in the early hours of Saturday morning. Preliminary information suggests air defense systems were able to intercept the missiles, Mr. Klitschko said. Residents have been ordered to take refuge in air raid shelters. There have been no initial reports of casualties following the air attack, according to news agency Reuters. The strikes came as President Volodymyr Zelensky marked the first anniversary of the liberation of Kherson from Russia. Speaking to the city's residents, he praised them for inspiring the world with their resistance. Microsoft has said problems with accessing its Teams messaging app and Xbox gaming platform across the UK and Europe have now been resolved. More than 1,500 people in the UK reported issues with Teams, according to Outage Tracker Down Detector. A similar number also said there were problems with Xbox Live. It left some who have bought the latest game in the Call of Duty series released on Friday unable to pay it, but Microsoft said this is now fixed. On X, formerly Twitter, Microsoft said the services were impacted by an artificial increase in synthetic network traffic. The company previously said it had identified some anomalies within our network infrastructure. The problem was unique to customers in the UK and Germany, Microsoft had said earlier on Friday, but on social media, people in Sweden and Poland said they had been unable to access these services. There are reports from both of these countries on Dow Detector as well as other European countries, including Finland and Switzerland. A diabetes medicine dubbed the King Kong of weight loss jabs has been approved in the UK for treating obesity. The medicine Monjaro or Tirzepatide makes you feel fuller so you eat less. In trials, people on it have lost a fifth of their body weight, and UK regulators now say it is safe and effective enough to be sold and prescribed in the UK. Unlike a similar jab called Wegovy, it is not recommended on the NHS yet. The NHS can use it for diabetes though. Healthcare spending watchdog, the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence (NICE) is reviewing its use for obesity and should report back in March 2024. Both Wegovy and Monjaro work in similar ways, come as pre-filled injection pens that patients can self-administer, giving themselves a dose under the skin of their stomach area or thigh. They can help people shed significant weight, but in studies, users often put weight back on after stopping treatment. And now the main points of the World News segment once again. Kiev has been hit by the first Russian air attack in 52 days. Microsoft says Teams and Xbox fixed in the UK and Europe. A diabetes medicine, the King Kong of weight loss jabs, has been approved in the UK for treating obesity.
Development News.
The All-Ireland Private Pharmacy Owners Association has called on the government to eliminate the price controls on 60 identified medicines. They urge the government to implement a unified pricing formula for all medications based on their cost, insurance and freight values. The president of the association, Chandika Gankanda, said that Sri Lanka was at a significant risk of losing access to high-quality pharmaceutical products due to the price controls on these 60 medicines. He said original Voltaren medicines are not coming now and stocks of Xanax and Augmentin are depleting. He added as the original products are unavailable, substitutes are being used, and in such a backdrop it is tricky to keep control over 60 pharmaceuticals. Gankanda explained that there were around 1,200 medicines in Sri Lanka, with only 60 among them being controlled. This is not practical, he stressed.
Moving on with sports news.
The Sri Lanka cricket team apologised to the cricket-loving public of the country following the team's disappointing showing at the ongoing 2023 ICC Cricket World Cup held in India. Sri Lanka captain Kusal Mendis issued the apology on behalf of the squad during a press conference held at Sri Lanka Cricket's head office today. Furthermore, Captain Kusal Mendis asserted that the Sri Lanka team was not under any threats or external pressures to underperform during the tournament. Meanwhile, consultant coach of the Sri Lanka cricket team, former captain Mahela Jayawardene, stated that they hope the suspension imposed by the International Cricket Council on Sri Lanka cricket would be lifted soon so that the team would be allowed to play.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Ministry of Health says that steps were taken to re-export a stock of chilies imported from Pakistan due to the presence of aflatoxin. An official at the Food Control Administration Unit of the Ministry of Health said that 25 containers of chilies were among the exported items. He added that a group of businessmen from Sri Lanka had imported the chilies. Meanwhile, the Food Control Administration Unit of the Health Ministry has introduced a telephone number to report problems related to the quality of food. The number is 012 112 718.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news, the demand for the low fixed interest rate loan schemes offered by the Ministry of Industries has skyrocketed amidst the current economic crisis. The Ministry of Industries revealed that since the inception of the current economic crisis, the demand for the two low fixed interest rate loan schemes offered by the Ministry had skyrocketed amidst the high market interest rates. The Ministry said it is highly popular among small and medium scale entrepreneurs. In the loan schemes, the interest collected from the applicant is divided equally between the Ministry and the credit institution. The number of applications for these two loan schemes has increased to 1,428 in 2023 from a mere 271 applications in 2022, the Ministry said.
Weather report.
The Met Department has issued an amber level advisory for heavy rains in the western, central, Sabaragamuwa, southern, eastern provinces and in the Kurunegala, Polonnaruwa districts as well. The Met Department said showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the northern, north central, central and eastern provinces. Heavy showers above 100 millimeters are likely at some places in the western, central, Sabaragamuwa, southern and eastern provinces and in the Kurunegala and Polonnaruwa districts. Showers may occur in the coastal areas of the western and southern provinces in the morning too. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions, remember as damage caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during the thunder showers. That was with the report and other headlines of this news broadcast once again. The Finance State Minister assures budget proposals are not targeting elections. The Consul General of Sri Lanka says Sri Lanka-Pakistan trade volume remains insignificant due to certain barriers. The chairman of the Central Environment Authority has been suspended. The National Dengue Control Unit launches a 5-day special dengue control program. A school holiday for all Tamil schools tomorrow. Kiev has been hit by the first Russian air attack in 52 days. That concludes this news broadcast. You are with Radio Sri Lanka on a Sunday evening.